Final wire, don't you?
Well, it's like the old saying, if you're early, you're on time, but if you're on time, you're late.
You're late. If you're not 10 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. This is why, just, am I your friend?
Well, I don't know if I want to admit that publicly, but Eric Corey.
No. Okay, aside from that, do you know I have to treat you with affirmative action gloves in this case?
Please do. I've always
No, no,
wanted.
no, 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 no. You don't want to be, that's an insult. Being treated with affirmative action means there's something about you. Now, in the traditional sense, it means you have a trait that you were born with that everyone has to, because, and then you're oppressed, and therefore society has to lower standards for you because you're disadvantaged. You cannot, under your own steam, due to no fault of your own, cannot perform at a certain level, though, for you need a little bit of a leg. A handicap. It's like a golf handicap, right? Follow me so far?
Sure. If there's time for a
Okay.
very quick story, I'll get that.
Oh, is this why you're late?
Oh no, this is just a story
Oh,
where I genuinely was like I benefited from affirmative action one time.
really? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, you're benefiting again because have you noticed how we have baseball game starting times when you're on the air?
Is that true?
It's not 10:30. You know, baseball, they have weird starting times. You're a baseball fan. Why do they do that? Why is it like 7:06 they start? Why do they do it like that?
Well, first of all, I'm done with the sports ball. Thank you, Corona
Right.
fan. And
Right.
two, with baseball, they always they put in a couple minutes before the game because they have to sing the national anthem, and sometimes they sing two anthems if it involves a
Oh,
Canadian
yeah, if
thing.
Canada's playing, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose. No, the affirmative action that I have to do for you is because your trait, which you weren't born with, it's a choice, is you like to come under the wire. So I have to give a baseball time to start the podcast because you will come in right at the, I was like, well, I don't want to just go, hey, I said everybody, Chad was going to be here, but he's not. You come in right at the end of the wire all the time, but I have to have that insurance policy. Just
Yeah,
like, what if
well,
I'm, okay.
I saw it said it started at 10:35, so I thought I would come at
That's
10:29 too.
solely because of you. That is solely because of you. So it's what we go on the time I say, not the time that it starts at officially.
Yeah, you just really making me feel so special, like doing something for
That's
me.
what friends do. At least asshole consultants. They say, hey, what's this? What's this?
Well, I say this not like I actually mean this. This is not an ironic statement.
Mm,
I appreciate that you gave me 30 minutes notice this time, as opposed to like,
yes.
right there. So
I
I'm
am I am
actually grateful.
learning. Oh, it's so sad. It's like to admit that I'm wrong and society is right, but I have there's this a couple that go hang out and have dinner with every once in a while. And I'm just in time inventory management mind where it's like, what's in front of me? What's in front? Bang, bang, bang. Let's
Oh
get it
yeah.
out. Let's knock it out. And then boom, boom, done. I went through my checklist. All right, everybody, let's go play. I am the only one that I know like that. Now I know when I invited these people, I get them like 3 days heads up and they could make it as opposed to like, hey, what do you guys want to do now? And so, yes, if I take the time to give my friends a little bit of a heads up, they're more able to attend, not for lack of wanting, but they're more able to attend. And so I have to admit I was wrong. So what was your good story that you wanted to share?
I'd say it's more amusing than anything. So in between my first and second year of getting my MBA, which of course you should never do full time. So this was before Zoom and Skype wasn't really that big back then and all this. I ended up interviewing for over the phone, interviewing for an internship at a bank in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I got the position. And then after it was over and I came back to grad school, somebody who I became friends with on the inside told me, yeah, they basically did that because they needed to hire a non-Mormon person as an intern. So you were the one they selected who wasn't Mormon.
But is Mormon really a protected class? Now we're starting to get in religion. Is that a disadvantaged group?
Well, it's may not be disadvantaged, although Christians sure take a lot of shit.
Right.
But no, I was just thinking like, I went to a Catholic graduate school and I don't know who it was that was making this decree, but they were like, look, we can't just hire, college kids from BYU, Utah, and most of them are Mormon. I think they felt like they wanted to have somebody they were sure wasn't Mormon just for that one summer. I didn't get a full-time offer.
First, like maybe diversity of thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was internal audit. I doubt they needed that much diversity of thought, but I just thought it was funny because I did receive confirmation that was one of the reasons I got hired.
It's so I know it's a benefit for you, but it's so wrong and so insulting to the individual if you think about it, that, oh, you didn't hire me because I busted my ass off going to school for 4 to 6 years, or the knowledge or the skill or everything I invested in. No, you hired me because whatever, you were Catholic or you happen to be Black or Hispanic or female. I mean, for people I know most other people are like, oh, free, give me that handouts. All right. But to the more couth, the intellectually couth individual who's just the slightest bit of philosopher, that's got to be a slap in your face. Yeah, hey, Juan, what would it be like? Oh, we hired you not because you're the best Mustang mechanic in the Bay Area. We hired you because you're Hispanic. It's got to piss me a little bit, I'd imagine.
I mean, I knew I wasn't going to take this job and move to Salt Lake City full time. I wanted to put something on the resume, check out a new city for 3 months. I never even gave it a second thought. I mean, probably because the person told me about it when I was done with the internship and I was back in South Bend. But no, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You didn't like Salt Lake City?
Oh, I loved it. Salt Lake was freaking awesome.
Why didn't you go out there then?
I don't know. I'm debating whether I should be open about this. I ended up not getting an offer, but it wasn't because of my work performance.
Oh, okay. All right. So you didn't have a job offer out there?
No, I did something which rendered me unhireable.
You banged the CEO's daughter.
I banged my boss.
You're kidding.
Not kidding.
Oh, dude, you sewing up in my estimation. That is so awesome.
10 years ago.
I know, but that is awesome, man. That's great. I mean, that's like banging your babysitter when you're older, or banging the hot teacher that you had. That's up there.
Well, the reason why it was particularly easy, 1, she was pretty good looking. 2, she was not a Mormon. And 3, she was only like a year older than me. And from the outset, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to seek a job here. So,
now we could go have fun.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the bank got wind of it, and then my career services got notified about this, and then they brought me in. They're like, "How could you do that?" And I was like, "Hey, it's none of your business what I do."
Dude, good answer, dude. You really just went up in my estimate. I mean, you're already pretty highly ranked, but that's you know who also is very proud of you right now?
Atham
is like, hey, good going, man. That's he would have.
Dude, this was got to be fair. This was 10 years ago. I think I was a lot cooler back then, but man, that was a fun summer.
I bet it was.
Very easy to hook up in Salt Lake City if you're not Mormon and you're a dude. Very easy.
Really?
That's how you get to girls. Yeah, at least my experience.
Okay, well, it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, John Steele said New York was an easy place to get girls. 20 years ago, Chicago was.
I remember this was pre-dating apps, so that probably changed. But
yeah. So. Hang on. The Napier was going to come on, and I got a question for you guys, but I'm gonna maybe wait for him to come on. That's about it. Anyway, any excitement over in the Chicago world or the Elkins world?
Let's see. It's Tuesday. Nothing too exciting right now.
It has been that malaise, hasn't it? No. I just talked to my old man on the phone. He's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Absolutely nothing. It's just work." Because is it humid out where you are right now?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you can't go outside. I don't want to. It's nuts. It's like living in like either the North Pole or living on some kind of moon base where you're never allowed to go outside because the environment is so harsh. And he's like, "Oh, what do you got going on?" I'm like, "Nothing. It's work. It's boring me." I had a good podcast this morning with Modern Life John, or Modern Life Dating John, Modern Life John.
I know John.
John. All right. So he's goofy so he's got a seminar coming up and I was like, God, I'm going to walk. Okay, fine. He gave me access to it. It's not bad. It's pretty darn good. He's got good delivery. So this goofball, you know him. That's right. You do know him a little bit. So this goofball you see on the internet, all of a sudden, like he's cleaned up. He's not wearing his fucking sunglasses. He looks presentable. Like, what the hell? And his delivery's great. So I was like, and the material wasn't bad either. But all I'm doing is like, because we had that seminar coming up in Vegas that got canceled physically, so it's going to be online. Modern Life John has a seminar. I got a seminar that I launched that's still in the experimental stages. And all it is now is marketing and doing piddly shit and links and advertise. It sucks. It sucks. And so Dad's like, well, can't you go anywhere? It's like, where? Can't go, travel's not allowed outside the United States. I don't want to go to South Dakota again. I don't want to hop on my motorcycle again. So I've just been cooped up. I'd imagine it's the same. I imagine it's the same for you.
Yeah. It's bad when I'm so tired of being in my place that I go to my office for no reason whatsoever. I'm just like, well, I feel like I'm doing something.
So what I did, started hanging out with the nieces again because they're not pissing their pants and acting like terrors. So it's kind of like, okay. But it's not even necessary because you know what they're doing now. You know what they find this very early. Okay. But now they've upgraded. What's the first thing parents put in their little children's hands that they absolutely should not? Because basically parents don't want to deal with their kids.
I'm hoping you're not going to say cell phone.
Tablet. Worse than a cell phone,
tablet.
A tablet. Yeah, tablet. So now they've learned to get the television going on. You know what they spend most of their time doing?
Watching TV on the tablet
on the tablet, right? So you kind of exist around them, but it's a different environment. And so you can I don't know. It's just not my house. It's amazing what somebody else's house will do for you. We're like, hey, it's not my house.
So my nephew, almost 3, he's a little on the hyperactive side. And really the only thing you can do to make him like sit still for a minute is just put a phone with cartoons in front of him or just turn on the TV.
Sure.
But of course, my sister and brother-in-law are like, we're trying to limit screen time, which I don't blame them for, but it's like the only thing that works.
Did the kid ever get spanked yet? Or is that going to be, no, we can't spank?
Well, not since I've visited, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah. No, I've witnessed enough generations of little kids now, and they start to spur off into not normal behavior land. If I don't care what Stefan Molyneux says.
I was going to mention that.
I don't care. Okay, not everyone has a genius daughter, nor the father around to spend that much time. So I've seen what not spanking does. Oh, fuck it, these kids are fucked in the head. They're fucked. They're going to be, and you got till 5. You got till 5 before permanent damage sets in. And I'm looking, I'm like, nope, these kids are gone. They're gone because we just put the TV in front of them, the screen, no spanking. Oh my gosh, understand. We're going to no, spank the little shit. And so I'm thinking if that's what they're doing, they're just going to throw the TV in front of the kid. You're going to have your job as an uncle cut out for you to put this kid on the straight and narrow.
So, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, and I have no experience with this, but these terrible twos, there's tantrums or whatever, at least from what I was watching when this happened, they actually did pretty well. They just kind of ignored him. He'd pitch a fit.
That's good. Right.
Yeah, good. He'd pitch a fit and then he would cry himself out and he didn't get his way. And now things are normal again. So that's a good trick, I guess.
No, I'm all for spanking kids because I think if you do it once or twice early on, now this would presume the dad is around, and I know that's a good theoretical.
The father was not available for comment.
So thankfully you got your sister and husband, nuclear family there. But if the fear of God was wait till your dad gets home.
Yeah.
And that was enough. That was enough. Because poor Ma. Do we need to go over history lesson? Do you think most of our listeners know that in the olden days, a parent would stay home to raise the kid? The kids weren't outsourced to a government financed facility. Do you think most kids know that?
You jest. That's I know.
Back in the 70s, occasionally mothers, typically the mothers, not always, would stay at home with the kids. Now, you would like to make it seem like it was just, well, that's not a real job. Feminists tell you that's not a real job. And women were just lying around, breaking out their dildos, drinking wine, and watching Phil Donahue, which was a predecessor to Oprah. But believe it or not, being a wife and a mother and a homekeeper was a hard and full-time job because you have to deal with the kids. Now, if the kids weren't paying attention and you would spank them or do whatever, you always had the ace up your sleeve that if the kids weren't behaving, who would come home?
Just wait till your father gets home.
Why was your dad already in a follow mood when he got back at 5:30 p.m.?
Because he had to do a fucking horrible, wage slave 9 to 5 job.
Or he just had to deal with corporate America. Maybe it was white collar, whatever. He was in no mood for bullshit. So when the father came home, what was the father expecting?
Well, he was expecting the house to be clean, for there to be dinner ready. Yeah.
There might be a dinner involved. Yes.
This doesn't happen anymore.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
No.
It's hilarious.
I remember the year I cohabitated where you turned into Eric Corey. I
remember Eric Corey. Yeah.
I was just thinking, I come home and she's not been doing anything all day and shit's not clean. There's nothing ready. I'm like, why am I doing this?
The day we leave for South Dakota, the GF may just go housewifey.
That wouldn't be too bad.
Well, it wouldn't be, but now I got to manage that where it's like, all right, I expect you're not lying around here watching the Oprah show or whatever's on now. There's going to be an effing meal and the place is going to be clean and you better do 90% of that in lingerie, whether I'm here or not. It's kind of, there's no, oh, I made it now I can rely on, and I think she's fully aware of that. But just the concept, like you'd get home to a meal. Like, when's the last time that happened to you? Not made by your mother or your sister. Like a gal you were dating, when you came in, there was like a meal.
2005, maybe.
Okay, 15 years ago, huh?
That, maybe our listeners will disagree. This just doesn't happen anymore,
No, like it doesn't happen.
The closest I came was somebody I was dating way earlier in the year. She knew I was before COVID. Like she knew I was like a little stressed because it was February and I was really doing a bunch of work. She came by with Popeye's chicken biscuits to my office, unannounced. To me, that's
kind of nice.
It was very nice. It was like, that's almost the equivalent,
Mm-hmm. Well, you're at work, so yeah. But this would happen pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm glad everyone's sitting down. You know what the wife would do before the man went to work at time?
Well, a lot of things.
Well, certainly, but before the guy left, there's the key. Before the guy left, what would some women do?
Some of them would make breakfast, but does that ever happen?
No, they would make breakfast for the family, but before the kids and the dad would leave, the kids would go to school, the dad would leave for work. What would the moms and the wives do to their family? Well, not to, for their family members.
Jeez, if it's not breakfast, make lunch for the family members?
Lunch!
Oh, yeah, to take? Yeah.
Now, I know all you degenerate, douchebag, millennial, Gen X, and Gen Z parents think it's the taxpayer's responsibility to feed your children. But in the olden days, parents would feed their own fucking kid. I know you're a bunch of parasites and you just want to come in her pussy. And ladies, you just want to have a child, not raise one. So that's why me and Chad and other hardworking, non-parasitic Americans pay the extra taxes to feed the kids that aren't ours. But in the olden days, when women were worthless and horrible and oppressed, women would make their own, they would feed their own children a lunch. Do you remember lunch boxes?
I do. I had a Dukes of Hazzard one.
You have a Dukes of Hazzard one?
Well, I had one growing up, and you can't walk around with a car with the Confederate flag on the top.
Watch me. I'll walk. If it's a Dukes of Hazzard box, most cool people, you'd be cool with that.
You'd get sent home, and there'd be some Yahoo article. 8-year-old sent home
carrying Confederate flags.
Yeah, that's exactly that would happen.
Suspect of trying to kill his good friend Bob, who's black. It's like Bob.
We mentioned he's 6 years old. So
no. So before that, the mothers did a lot of things. Completely different world now. But to speak to your thing. There's nothing to disagree about. Women don't cook anymore. Do you know where most women get their nutrition from?
Probably like fast food or
going out. Right. Yeah. They don't make their own food. Women can't cook anymore. It doesn't happen. It just absolutely doesn't happen. That's why they're going out for their flirtanies. Seriously, I'm sure there are women who could cook, no doubt about it. But women, they wanted to become men. Did they not?
I mean, that's what the feminists tried to get.
That they succeeded, and most women now want to go have a career. Look at Polling Dad. That's what they want to do. Okay, now is there someone home to make dinner, or now women going to school, going into debt, burning themselves out, getting a career, getting an MBA. Do women suffer the same commute as men?
I mean, not exactly, but
What do you mean they don't? They don't?
Well, hold on. Could you repeat that question? I think.
Do women suffer the same traffic as men, or do women have a magic highway system we don't know about where they don't suffer commute? Okay.
No, of course.
Okay. Do they have to pay for parking?
Yeah.
Do they have to walk to the cubicle?
Yeah, although getting exercise would be good because they don't.
Do they have to sit in stupid meetings that have nothing to do with their job?
I mean, even when you work from home, you have to have stupid meetings if you're working.
In the old, right. Yeah. Do they have the same bosses as guys do?
Yeah, probably they go nicer.
Do they suffer the afternoon rush hour home?
Yeah.
So they have the same time that men do, amount of free time and committed time. So what? You think they're going to then they get home, they're going to make dinner and they're going to make breakfast? There's no way they're totally going to outsource it. So you don't have lunch boxes. You go for lunch. You get your lunch break. You get the food truck. We're going to the food truck. Oh my goodness. I hate food trucks. That's what, so there's no women. Well, okay, not no. Very few women know how to cook anymore because there's been no call for it. They don't have the time. They don't even feed their own damn kids, Chad. I can understand you don't like your douchebag husband. Fine. Some guys are dicks, but your own fucking kids, you women won't feed your own fucking kids. I understand because of the time it's more efficient to pay the extra taxes. And thankfully you women are, because thank God you're working to pay taxes to finance all this stuff. But you're sending your kids to be fed by a government, by the local county or city. Fine. But no, they don't know how to cook. That's not an opinion. Guys, chat room, type in the last year. I'm not even saying I guarantee you it's going to be years. Type in the last year a woman cooked for you. I mean, I bet you're not going to see anything more recent than 2010. Guarantee you it's at least 10 years ago.
Well, maybe more recent than that, but I mean, your point stands that this is just not a thing anymore.
I bet you most people are going to say never, because we got a fair amount of youngins here. This is the Older Brother podcast. We should call it the Ancient History podcast, where, there were traditional families and you had your dad around. But,
you have a few people. I mean, even I had someone cook me dinner in 2013, but that was long before the cuddlebooks and similar.
Yeah, no, it can happen, but we're older. I bet you some of these younger guys, they've never had a gal cook for them. I bet you if you're under 30, the vast majority of men have never had something cooked for them.
No, we're getting different answers here. 2016, 2013, things like that. I mean, I think what the deal is, it happens like maybe once or twice in a year on your birthday or something.
Right.
But, more relevant is the fact that how many times has it happened in the last 5-10 years? Not a lot.
Or the fact that you had a tradition, and I would almost say a meditation, not a conscious one, or maybe meditation is too strong a word. You had a tradition where the family would sit down, and this reinforced, love for your family or interest in each member of the family. Oh, hello, Jimmy. How was school? Oh, hello, Jessica. Did you have a fun time at daycare today? That kind of thing. The wife and husband would talk. That's all gone. You don't have that every night. That's completely wiped out now.
Somebody had a funny comment. Does it count if your mother cooked for you?
No, it cannot be your mother.
Okay.
Because then the boomer women, they kick that feminist stuff to the curb when it comes to like Thanksgiving and Christmas and come home, please come home. It's like, oh, where was this in 1981? What was this? I thought we had to go to college. And do you remember Swanson pot pies?
Yes.
Do you ever have? I mean, those were exciting. We had a pot pie. Oh my God.
I remember those, but man, I didn't want to eat them that much.
After a while, you didn't want to eat them. Mm-mm. And in all fairness to my mom did stay at home for a while and did bake and do some things. But after careers started coming in, it was kind of like, what happened? And, as little kids, you were like, no, I want to watch Knight Rider or TV. So you were okay with it because you're sick of these people by that time. But that is now lost. And as an older man, I can see the wisdom of having a regular dinner and a meal cooked by someone. I don't care if it's the stay-at-home dad or the mom, but somebody cooks a effing meal every night. It helps your psychology, helps your health, helps your love and your family integrity. We don't need it. We got student counselors. We have guidance counselors at the schools and teachers. So we're all good with that.
Hmm.
Anyway, getting back to that. So the dad would go work. He'd come back and he was not in a happy mood.
Mm-mm.
And if you were effing around, what would your dad do?
Well, I'm not going to say, paddle your ass or, punish you with a belt, but he wouldn't be too happy and you'd have to deal with it.
Yeah. And he would spank the shit out of you if you, and then all the mom though had to do is like, do you want me to call? Oh, that was bad. Did your mom ever threaten to call your dad at work?
Oh, no, we never had that happen, but it
would. Yeah. And if your dad had to come home in the middle of the day, you were dead. You were effing dead, man. There was no. But now we don't need that because fathers aren't necessary. We'll just have a timeout.
Plus, fathers are never really available to comment on anything anyway. So.
You don't need no man fish bicycle. Government check will take care of all of it. Want to do some super chats then?
We only have one or two.
Two.
1985 NBC 499. Asian in the field, just contributing to the cause. Keep the chatter coming, fellas. Thanks a lot, dude.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, by the way, we got 64 people. This is not the flagship channel, it's the older brother channel. But if you have not subscribed, and now that I'm done with a ton of other projects I've been working on, we're going to get back to a more regular schedule here. But subscribe to this. Also, a lot of you have been emailing me saying, oh, I didn't know, YouTube didn't notify me. I don't control that, guys. So the deal is to resubscribe again, I guess. YouTube is always fucking with shit. So, subscribe here and subscribe there. And I'll always put the notifications out on Twitter or Facebook, but I don't control that. If you don't get an email.
And then Adriano Ramos for $2 Australian. No Popeyes stores in Australia. Why? I don't know. I see KFCs in different countries, but I don't think I've ever seen Popeyes.
Yeah, I have no idea what. You hear about KFC?
No, what are they doing now?
I got it here. This is from the Times Live. KFC pauses finger licking good slogan. Says it doesn't feel right. The previous I had to look this up because you want to make sure. So there was a previous article in March of 2020. 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And this is the problem with the internet and quote modern day journalism is if anybody's offended, they'll run with it. Whereas in the olden days, it actually had to be newsworthy. So some twat on the internet, male or female, complained saying that in today's a coronavirus, we shouldn't be saying finger licking good. It's unhealthy. It's unsanitary. And they collapsed. They collapsed to this. They acquiesced. Kentucky Fried Chicken is temporarily suspending its longtime advertising slogan, it's finger licking good, calling it inappropriate in the current COVID-19 pandemic situation. Chad, how do you eat Kentucky Fried Chicken?
I mean, I eat it with my fingers usually, and they often taste good after I've hit the fried chicken.
It doesn't matter. Or maybe these people can just fuck off and die. I'm just waiting for the day one of these corporations, they don't have to say fuck off. That'd be great if they did. They just don't respond and they keep on going. Or just like you get kind of they got a spokes guy. He comes in, it says, yeah, it's pretty stupid. We're not going to do that. Like I make the greatest spokesman ever because you just send me out there. I'm like, yeah, that's done. We're not doing that. Yeah. People like, we're not political. We're here to take your money and give you a good product and service as much as we possibly can. That's it. That has nothing to do with our business operations. You can eat KFC with gloves if you'd like, but it's still finger looking good. Yeah. And then all I want is all the money they pay on diversity and inclusion or CSR. I want the tens of millions of dollars they spend unnecessarily on that department. Just give it to me for half. I'll come into your corporation. I'll take care of it for you. And, but I don't know why Popeyes, but they're, in an era when face masks and hand washing have become the norm and health officials are recommending people stop touching their faces, KFC said the slogan doesn't feel quite right. The slogan used on and off by the Yum Brands Incorporated owned chain for 64 years has been paused in advertising globally since Monday and will reappear when the time is right, the company said in a press release. The restaurant chain unveiled a short clip of UK buckets with the finger licking words blurred out from its operations. Really? Chain pulled one of the advert featuring catchphrase. There you go. That's what it did. Not that I'm a big fan of KFC, but what did take a knee? They acquiesced, they collapsed. I don't know.
So we got another one here from Dr. Khan blog.
Yep.
Burger King for $2. Burger King is called Hungry Jack's in Australia. It's called Burger Queen in Britain, I think.
Burger Queen. Well, I guess they have the Queen, right?
Yeah, so I think I could be totally off on that, but I thought it was called that. Yeah.
Well, I remember the days you could eat there.
Yeah, those are some good times, man.
Great time. I wish you could slam a Mountain Dew, then go out and play, and you'd still have a 6-pack as a kid.
Oh, too much awesomeness to even think about.
I know. Now our buddy we have in common, our dentist buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he visited, right? And we took him to this restaurant where I thought it was like a healthy eating guy. So then he orders like the pallet, not the plate, the pallet of super nachos. Ooh. And I'd never seen it. And it comes out, it was like about 1.5 foot circle. Like it came on a pizza pan tray. So he ate, I think, 1/5 of it. And I'm like, looking at all this food to be wasted. I said, are you going to take that home? He's like, oh no, I couldn't finish this. He's like, go ahead, take it. And you know what I did?
You took it home.
I took it home. I put extra jalapenos and diced onions and pulled chicken on it. And I doused that fucker with a ton of hot sauce. And I ate it. It was absolutely horrible for me, but it tasted great. It was wonderful. Lasted 2 whole meals.
You got to do that sometimes.
Yep. Sometimes you do.
Yeah, I was chatting with him yesterday. He said that you had a good time, that he had a great time, and that you were relatively calm. So I thought
I was tired. Yep. It was a long weekend. It was a good weekend, but a long weekend. So, but now I get to go back. I already hit the gym yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. So I hit the gym, and I'm gonna hit the gym today again.
I tried running in 101 heat index. So that was the temperature, and then it was like 1 in the afternoon where there wasn't a cloud in the sky. That did not go so well yesterday.
You ever go running and you got a nice breeze?
Yes.
You realize the only reason you have a breeze is because you're running into an already gentle wind, and then when you run back, the wind runs your exact speed, so there's no air, and you might as well die at that point.
That's kind of what happened yesterday. And then there was, you can run in the shade for some of the run, but when you're not in the shade and it's that hot, man.
Can you not go to a gym, or the treadmill's not available?
I can, it's a couple blocks from where I live, behind the grocery store. I went in there a couple times. It's just, I'd rather not. No. I mean, they make you at least pretend to put your face mask on while you're on a treadmill. Some dude told me to put it up on my face, and I just gave him the middle finger. So, I'm not going to the gym.
Yeah, right no, I went. Thankfully, the gym I go to, you got to wear it while you walk in, and you immediately take it off. So
they do that. Do you get a temperature check in yours? They do that with the one.
So I go in, and everyone's there, and it's kind of been nice. Of course, I go in the middle of the day when it's not busy, but
you run outside a lot of the time, don't you?
Not in this heat. No, it's pissing me off. If anything, there's a couple, because I'm near the river, not the Mississippi, the St. Croix. Have them look it up. The borders, the St. Croix and the Mississippi. The Mississippi does not hit the St. Croix and become the border. Yeah, look at Afton, Minnesota.
Afton,
Minnesota. That is not the Mississippi River. That is the St. Croix. The Mississippi doesn't hit the St. Croix until south in Hastings or Prescott.
Nice little town, Afton, Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't live in Afton proper, but anyway, so there's a ton of trees and shade by the river, and that's why I haven't been walking, because you can't even bother running in it. It's that humid and miserable out here.
You have to drive to get there, it looks like, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, there's a couple parks, and there's all these little parks and hamlets along the river, so you can, Prescott's got some trails and some hiking paths.
Oh, dude, that's in Wisconsin. That's right across from the border, Wisconsin.
Right across from our border. Yeah, Prescott's across the border. Yeah.
Nice.
That's kind of my new hangout area now.
Soon.
Soon. But I'll have problems and they'll have to move. But no, I just go where there's a lot of shades and trees and forest. Even that's kind of miserable. So the running, and this summer has been very humid and annoying as fuck. and I cannot wait to get to South Dakota because it is nowhere near as humid out there.
So here it jumped immediately from like early spring where it's still chilly outside to just hot ass summer. Like we didn't really have a month of any good weather here.
Yeah. When you got that pavement effect, I mean, that is just stifling in Chicago. I remember
concrete jungle.
Oh, it's horrible. Horrible.
So we got another one, Renato Elias.
Whoa. You know him? Just jumped to celebrity.
Oh, Dre. All right, let me set the table for Dre. So Dre, who is very tall and does well with the ladies because he's 6'2".
Right, and well endowed.
For $2, he mentions Red Bull is the only company that rejected SJWs. Is that true?
That's true. Yep, because they're an Austrian company, so we're not doing this shit.
Well, good for them. Why am I?
Them.
You know what, dude? I'm not even. If that's true, forget these. I'm gonna drink Red Bull.
This is horrible.
They are. We all have our little vices.
But how can you drink a full? Like the thing I like about Red Bull is the small can. Like it can get by with a little bit of that. That thing is taxing your kidneys.
Yeah, you know what? The issue is that I just don't like to drink coffee. So when I want a lot of caffeine, it's Red Bull or this. I just don't like coffee.
I don't blame you. I've learned to like it.
But there are better ways to get caffeine than this. I'll fully admit.
Those ice waters are pretty good. The caffeinated ice.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Those taste good.
This has double the caffeine. That's the only thing. But yeah, those taste good.
and Lord knows what a diesel fuel and whatever else to make your pancreas go.
It's awful, yeah. It's awful.
With pancreas powder, your pancreas will increase production of whatever a pancreas creates, giving you more energy if you drink. I mean, the thing's as big as you.
Yeah. The only thing is I really hate the way Red Bull tastes. Even the different varieties they have. There's like pear Red Bull. It's like,
it tastes like ass. I know. It tastes like ass. But I prefer coffee over it. And every once in a while, I'll be like, I could drink a Red Bull. But the main reason I drink a Red Bull isn't because every other option is like the 1 liter thing. I'm like, dude, I'm not a truck driver who's been up 20 hours and still has 500 miles to go. I just a little one would be just fine.
Well, his question was for €5 random question, Mr. Celery, are gold and silver rings a good choice for storing precious metals? Would you recommend any format or amount? Cheers. You've talked about this.
I have. It's not the worst idea. And in India, what they will do is they will get somewhat nice, ornate looking necklaces, and they're beaded, but they're gold beads or silver beads, but typically gold. And they're all measured to be like 1 ounce or something. So they're exchangeable and divisible. And I think for a while they were doing that to like kind of cross the border, like, oh, it's just my jewelry. But there was a very monetary economic reason and value for that. But what you don't want is ornate shit with gemstones in them, like a basic band for a guy. You're not paying that much for aesthetics. If you want to just get a standard gold chain, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because, technically there's more economic utilitarian value to that. My silver, I don't own any jewelry. My one ring, which wasn't even precious metals, got stolen because of a douchebag I know. But if you got some gold and silver, you want to wear a nice silver chain or a nice gold chain, absolutely. Go ahead and wear it. There's nothing wrong with that. You just might lose 10-15% of its value if you have to hawk it.
Quick follow-up to this, because there's no super chat. $1.99 Redstorm 117. Where can I get gold and silver?
Or sulfur.
Sulfur?
Sulfur.
Oh, yeah, sulfur.
Well, okay, sulfur, you go to sulfur mines. Or if you don't want to travel to a sulfur mine, you go to the store and you get a big box of matches, and you just cut off the tips of the matches and you get some sulfur there. But gold and silver, you know what? MN Gold Buyer, I'll recommend it. Here, MN Gold Buyer. This is my buddy.
Well, you used to have a sponsor years ago, didn't you?
No, that was, what was that? That was, it was Precious Metals. That was another company, and the guy who owned it was really good, great guy, nothing wrong with him. But people would say, yeah, I bought some, and I'd never see the check, and then they'd have to go back. Oh yeah, here's the check. And every once in a while, they'll still send me a check. But MN Gold Buyer, that's the guy you occasionally work security for.
What you just
yeah.
Oh, sorry. What you just said, I really got to talk to you about in a bit when we're done with this.
Okay.
I need your advice on something.
Anyway, so a Red Storm, you can go to that site. He'll mail you silver. I wouldn't recommend getting gold simply because it's too valuable. You want junk metal, you want junk silver, or silver eagles, or the 1 ounce silver coins. That's basically, but you don't have to. If you want gold, go get gold. But you got to go through a broker like that, MN Gold Buyer. He'll charge you obviously a commission because he's got to make money too. If you can find a better deal, cool. You got to look up for Chinese knockoffs. But otherwise, you can also go to your local coin dealer, see what they got for prices for silver. See, and usually you buy junk silver in a bag. That sent me back $500 like 3-4 months ago. Now it's worth $800. But that's the best place to get silver and gold, I'd say.
Okay.
The best way, though, to find silver and gold is to see if it's, naturally forming in your backyard, and then you tell no one and you just go mine the stuff out. That's the best way to get silver and gold. But barring that, the other best way is like just go buy it cheap as you can. Is that it?
Yeah.
We're caught up. So, yes, what? You looks like you have a question.
Yes. So what you just said about how you were supposed to be getting commission checks or whatever from your guy, how did that make you feel? And two, what did you do about it? And I promise I have something I need help with.
It wasn't, I didn't make that much money anyway. People weren't buying billions of dollars. I mean, if anything else, and I did not assume criminality on their part. I assumed incompetence. That's what the secretary was lazy. The mail guy was dumb, whatever. It was not the owner or the manager of the firm. And it certainly wasn't the guy who was my dealer. It was just like something wasn't adding up. And I knew this other guy, he'd just pay me directly and I'd be done. And the prices were similar. So in that particular case, but it wasn't an issue. All these people are purposely stealing. I sense no maliciousness on their part.
Okay.
But you, however, have in your particular situation.
Well, this is more, none of this is viciousness or anything. This is just like, I'd say laziness or incompetence, like you said. Most of the time when I do somebody's return, I have a built-in system in place where the return can't get submitted to the IRS unless they pay me first.
Right.
So it works out well. Lately, and I'll get into more details if you want, I've had a few situations where I had to actually perform the service and then get paid later. Well, they haven't paid me yet. And this is really more of a new thing this year. I don't know what's going on.
Why? Okay. Why did you get yourself in this situation to render services without payment?
That is a great question. Couple reasons. The first, and I always fall for this, the first is that there was a deadline where something had to get filed, like it just had to. So I didn't collect payment. I just did it. And on good faith, went by they'd pay me later.
Whose fault is that?
Mine. But this is why I'm trying to fix this. This is why I want your opinion. And even people in the chat. The long and short of it, so you do everything the right way. They pay you, you work. Just for the time being, accept that I can't do that 100% of the time. So my question is, how do you tactfully bring it up to somebody? It's like, hey man, it's been 4 weeks and you haven't paid me yet. Because I want to do that, but a lot of times these are clients where they're pretty good clients and they pay a lot. So I don't want to be like too much of a dick. But this has been happening.
Okay, all right. Have they paid you in the past regularly before? I mean, you said they're good clients.
Not all of them, but some. If it's some have paid me in the past, I don't really worry about it too much. But yeah.
Okay, so then these are they're not good clients then. The ones you're worried about are not good clients because there's been issues in the past before.
Well, some of them, it's not that they're bad, they're just new. Like I don't know.
Okay, so they're young or stupid or they're, whatever.
Lazy.
Okay, well,
it's almost always laziness. Yeah.
All right.
You perform the service and then charge, I think, and you give advice about what to do. Is that?
Yeah, hang on. Did I just clock out there? Can you hear me all right?
Well, so the hold on one sec. Okay, we're back. The stream had suddenly stopped, but now it's back. I just checked.
Okay. way I get to my success is I am an asshole. Because
Yeah.
most people are either assholes or they're stupid. It's one of the
Yes.
two. So you got to go in there and say, where's my money? How many times have, okay, let me, I know it's probably different. How many of these do you have outstanding right now?
I have a handful, and they were extremely rare. They would happen every now and then, but I've just noticed, like this summer, I've got quite a handful here. What do you do? Do you email them? Do you call them? Like,
Okay, have you emailed them or contacted them before about this?
no, but the time has
Okay.
come where if it's
Time
been a
has
month,
come.
I want to get paid.
It's a month. I would
Yeah.
call them, say, hey, I need my money. Right. I wouldn't even email. Don't email. Call them.
I'd like to do this tactfully if I can. So that's why I need some help.
Well, then write a very well scripted email saying, hey, I need the money. I render these services. And an email would at least establish a track record.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be your first step. If you don't hear from them then,
Which has happened.
then
Yeah.
you send another email.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then if you don't hear from them, then what I would do is you call them up and say, you're either going to pay me or I'm going to lawyer. I'm dragging you to a small claims court. I don't,
That's pretty aggressive.
them. They're trying to steal money from you. That's what it is. These people are dipshits. Or they're evil.
Well, if it had been 6 months and 3 months and I've repeatedly warned them, then yes, that's when I would bring that up. But I don't know about like in a second email.
It's your
But I mean,
company.
I'm with you in spirit. Like it's getting a little frustrating.
Yeah,
So,
I would send them an email. I mean, the main thing is to have a legal track record.
Of course, yeah.
Maybe on your third email, find a lawyer. Do we know any lawyers? Do you know a lawyer?
My sister's a lawyer.
Good. CC her.
Yes.
At attorney at law. I'm CCing my lawyer on this email. Oh, shit. And then, then you may have to go to small claims court and threaten them with that. But man, we got to beat this nice guy out of you. People don't, dude, I'm pissed over 30 fucking bucks I gave this model who never delivered the pictures she was supposed to deliver so I could advertise books. I mean, that still gets, and so now it's just like, no. You get half up front. And when upon delivery, you get the rest. I mean, I don't know where's this. Oh, I might be rude. Fuck them. They're being rude, not paying you. There's nothing more rude than stealing money.
I suppose that's true. I guess.
How long are they outstanding? A month, you said?
Yeah, a few of them are a month. Like it's not 3 months or anything, but so the filing deadline this year was, of course, July 15th.
Right.
And I had to get a couple of them filed on time. Stupidly, I'm like, yeah, pay me when you get a chance. It's been over a month. So I'm just, without being aggressive, I just wanted to know what a good first step is. Send an email.
Good first step is a friendly reminding email. I really need this money. I have my own. All right. But going forward, when someone's, oh my God, I need this done tomorrow. And she's got great tits and beautiful eyes. What do you say, Chad?
Say, pay me first, or say, I'm not going to do it until you pay me.
And how much do you charge them?
Full price.
This is the day before. They're already late. They're a bunch of fuck ups. What do you charge them?
I definitely hike that up.
You double that. What if she's got really nice tits, Chad? What do you do?
Barter.
No. Double the price. What if it's an old grandma lady? Oh, I'm on a fixed income.
Dude,
what do you do?
What
do you do? I know what happens. What do you do to these boomer fucks who don't know by the age of... You triple that motherfucker.
Shoot, I didn't mean to get you riled up. You seem like in a good mood.
I'm pissed on two accounts. One, that you're reminding me of like just the general stupidity. But a pet peeve of mine is old people. These are the old people that lectured me and sermoned me and, oh, you got to get a job. And these boomer fucks, oh, I'm just an old person. It's like, well, you should have the fucking wisdom and savings, huh? Do you think so, stupid grandma bitch lady? Go fuck yourself. Go see. Hopefully there's maybe you could get online and do plenty of meeting fans, with your wrinkly tits, grandma. Fuck you. You're 75 and you haven't saved up. You don't know how this works. Fuck you. I fucking hate old people like that. And then now hang on. I'm not done yet. The other thing, Chad, is it's just like, Chad, when you going to wake up?
I know. I know.
I mean, do you like getting fucked in the ass?
No, but I guess I'm just saying the good first step, just the very first step. If they ignore me, that's all that stuff you mentioned later. A polite email saying, I show that this is outstanding. How would you like to handle it? Is that a good
Right.
first step?
That's a good first. I wouldn't even say how should I should say I need payment.
I need payment.
You know, by this time. You're done, Mr. Nice Guy. How much you got outstanding on this? Like, what are you going to lose total if none of these people pay?
So we're not quite at 4 figures, but there's some substantial fees. I'd really like to get
several
$100.
Now, maybe your stress and anger isn't worth a sub $1,000 bit of revenue.
No, but it does piss me off.
It pisses you off. So, I mean, make whatever means you can collect it. If not, I don't know, file something with the credit bureaus, whatever, how much you want to torture them and paint them. Doesn't matter. You know what? Learn your lesson. But for God's fucking sake, learn your lesson. I don't care if it's a quadriplegic, herpes-infested, widowed single mom veteran from Vietnam. I don't give a shit. If the bitch comes in the day before on what is already an extended filing date, that is a bad fucking person who needs to pay.
Okay, because earlier, because there's 1 or 2 cases like this. If they've been reliable before, done business, that means I allowed flexibility in terms of at least letting him know about it before getting pissed, right?
Right. Because some people, they could honestly have forgotten. That's why I was asking,
and
what's
they
their track record?
Yeah, I don't think this is evil intent. I think it's just they forgot or laziness, mainly laziness.
In those guys' case, say, hey, just a short email. Hey, you haven't paid me yet. I need to get paid for their filing. Okay.
Yeah.
And then for those that don't pay after you've reminded them 2 or 3 times, when they come to you again, say, yeah, when you pay me this plus $100 interest, I'll take your case. And they're like, and you know what? When the next CPA calls you up, says, hey, I'm taking over the Johnson account and they need the previous taxes. Do you know what you do?
I'm required by law to send that to him, but I delay because I can send it whenever the hell I want to send it.
Send it April 14th, 11:59 p.m. Give the CPA 1 day to get it done.
Yeah, I'll do the old, sorry, I'm so busy. I'm just getting to your email
man,
now.
You know how it goes. I'm just a millennial dipshit.
I'm not as worried about those people. But
right. But I don't think this is worth $1,000 or subpar $1,000 to get worked up about. But
no, I know.
You need to learn, man. You cannot do anything nice for anybody. You just can't. Yeah. Do you understand that now?
I do, but you got to admit, you have to make these mistakes at least a fair amount before you really get it.
Or how much am I charging for my minimalism seminar?
100. Oh, that one was what, 600 or something?
$599.
Yeah.
Okay? How many people are getting? Even though I told my regular listening audience this isn't for them, I'm going for a completely different audience. But if people haven't, they're new, they could take it. It's not, how many people are upset I dare charge $600 for it?
You've probably been getting some feedback.
Some feedback, yeah. Maybe not hate, but some people, oh my God, come on, Clary. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Exhibit A. It's going to be a $600 lesson. All right. I know you guys listen. I know you guys pay attention. I know you guys are saving your money. You don't need it, but there are other people out there in the world that you really need. They need to pay the cost. And this is the whole point of Asshole Consulting, is that when I give my advice and people don't follow it, at least I got the money. And so this is the same thing I'm trying to point out with you, Chad. Chad, to have learned this lesson early on would have been worth $600 on this one thing, on charging before you do work.
Yeah, I do that like 98% of the time. It's just, yeah.
You're frustrated. You're out around 600, I'd imagine, sub 1,000. You got to waste your time. You're stressed out. If you can get people early on to not make these mistakes, and this minimalism seminar, I'm not promoting it, I'm just pointing it out. This gets you, I figured out the psychology to spend less than you make. I figured out how to unwire people's genetic programming, and going into a completely new market of people who are noobs. Yes, it's worth this. But this is why, and I put it in the seminar, it's in all these books that I've written. Does this, let's talk about here. Let's talk about this one. All right, let's say you were a young person, you were still in high school, and you read this book, okay, and you believed everything in the book. What is the only thing that matters going forward then?
Well, using that knowledge to not fall for the trap
that you do what is said in the fucking book. And if you don't, this book is irrelevant and completely worthless. And so you have to do. You can't just, oh, I really got, you have to do it. So going forward, are you ever going to take a free case again? Or you could pay me later case again?
I want to say never, but I appreciate the feedback here. Sometimes in a split second, sometimes I do it without even realizing I'm doing it. And that's what filing deadlines get you sometimes.
And you know what pisses me off is it's like, you have to be a dick. Like, you're one of the nicest guys ever. You're moral, you're ethical, you want to help out people. And that's your initial reaction. But you got to get to the point to realize there are no nice people. They're only lazy people, fuck ups, and scoundrels and scammers. That's it. And then if it's true laziness or even naivete, they still need their ass kicked. They still need to say, yeah, you know what? That's double price now. Because what? I didn't know. Well, too bad. I know you've been busy. Whatever. I don't care if you're raising kids and you're a foster mother and you're really doing noble shit and you volunteer time down at the church or whatever. It doesn't matter, lady. You still need to file your fucking taxes. And just because they're nice or genuinely disadvantaged doesn't mean you're doing them favors, not kicking their ass and doubling the price so they learn and it stings.
Yeah. So it becomes a big problem around the filing deadlines. So in a few weeks, it's going to be October 15th, which is literally the last day you can submit it. And I already know what's going to happen. I'll have done people's taxes, that week at the last minute, given an estimate of a quote. And I'm like, hey, I need you to pay me now. Otherwise, this doesn't get filed and it gets late. And a lot of times I've bluffed on that and filed it anyway, which I don't think I should do anymore. I'm just trying to beat a deadline. And yeah.
Coming up, okay, October 15th is the extension for the April 15th extended pretenders, right?
Yeah.
All right, so they fucked up too.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you even doing extensions?
That's an excellent question, and I'll discuss this on another podcast.
Okay.
I made the decision to make some major changes going to 2021.
Okay, because what I would do is I'd say, okay, I do extensions, but there's a extension fee in addition to my hourly labor costs. So if you don't have your shit to me on time, you really need to have a conversation with each client. Like, you screen, let me explain to you how I work. I keep my prices incredibly low compared to others if you're a good client. And that means you understand how taxes work. I don't want you contacting me. Like, you would have a cutoff days, do not contact me if it's April. Go find another CPA. It is too late for you to file with me. So you're done. Also, we say, if you come up to me April 14th and you need an extension, all right, you are going to pay a fee and you're going to pay for my hourly fee in advance for me to file come October. And that's it. I'm not taking payment later. I'm not waiting for you for October. And you say, you need to get me your information by October 1st. And if you don't, I keep this deposit like a retainer or whatever you want to call it. And you don't see me again. You have to get another, write it out, get it in a contract, say, read this to me, film them.
And they all get a contract. It's called an engagement letter where I kind of spell this out, but people just don't look at that stuff.
Okay.
But, I mean, these are good suggestions. And I do plan to be, I'll tell you all about this another time or offline, but I think I may have found a way with H&R Block to get rid of half of the ones I'm trying to get rid of.
Get rid of them. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing you paint. Frankly, and not you have the ability to do what I do and come hang out with me in Atham, in Nevada. But because you don't tell people no, and you're a nice guy in a doormat and a pushover, we don't get to see
always.
You. Well, 85% of the time,
no.
me and Atham, we roll some die. What are the 80%? It's
it's not that clear cut. There's just sometimes there's things I should and should not do depending on the person.
What amazes me is this year, especially with the artificial extension, and then when corporations file on the regular schedule, you've not had a slow season. It's been pretty much year round, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's 2020 has just been one big shit sandwich. I'm sure not just for me, maybe for some others.
Right.
But I'm not doing this, man. 2021 totally different. I'll tell you about that more another time. But things are changing.
Now watch May 2021. Chad will be on. Oh my God.
And
so she was a single mom and she had nice tits, but you know.
No, so I'm not even gonna be doing the ones anymore. They're my troublemakers. Like those will be gone. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Well, we got some more super chats here.
Okay, Black Pill Ned Stark for $5. Chad, do you do tax returns for truck drivers? I actually do. For one dude, it's really interesting because depending on the business he does, he gets W-2s from different states, which means a lot of state tax returns, which means
it's complicated.
It's complicated, but not so complicated that I mind doing it.
Are most of them contractors? Like they got to track mileage or over the road? Okay, so they're kind of like us, independent contractors predominantly.
Yeah, but sometimes, depending on the job, they get, if they're going to say Minnesota, sometimes the company that hires them, because they work for a lot of different people and they're independent contractors, that company will withhold Minnesota state taxes, even though the guy lives in Illinois. So they are contractors, but sometimes they get a W-2 anyway. They're good clients. Why do you ask, out of curiosity? Are you a truck driver?
Hey, Ned Stark, call Chad on October 14th at 11:59 p.m. and say but you can't pay him now, but you swear, dude, you'll pay him later.
Where was that last one? Oh, Elkins, 1985 NBC 499. Elkins, read Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. You should actually super chat me for that piece of advice.
Yeah,
I'll check. Have you read that? I'll check it out. I'm gonna look it up right now.
No, what I'm going off of is that nobody learns without pain. That's what I'm going off of. And you've suffered an inordinate amount of pain. Maybe you just need to suffer more. So you're like, fuck these people, and you view them for the resources that they are.
Can I present a quick story for you?
I'll make it I love quick story.
20 seconds here. Okay. It's April 14th. They got me their stuff, in a reasonable amount of time, 3 weeks ago or whatever. It's been completed. I tell them it's been completed and I want to file it. So we do get to October 14th, middle of the day or whatever. And they say, listen, I know this is the last day to file. I can't pay you right now. I just need my refund and then I'll pay you. So you're going to say, don't even, you don't allow that to happen.
Right.
So is your solution just like slam the door in their face? And I'm not being critical. I just want to know how to navigate this. Do you just shut the door?
What was the bill? Do you remember the bill? Like what they owed you? Is this like a standard, 1 W-2, 2 W-2s type of thing?
Usually it's a little complicated. Let's just say the fee for this particular type of client is between $300 and $500. So it's not Trump change.
Okay. It is if you don't file with the IRS. You have the biggest mafia enforcer behind you. That's the IRS. Yeah. You're just the messenger. Say, no, I don't care if you got to borrow money from your family. And you can unload on say, I'm sick of you type of people doing this to me. You got to owe the fucking IRS. You have every right to say, no, that's a lie. You can go scrounge up $400 right now. I don't care if you got to borrow it from your mom. I don't care if you got to sell your little Beanie Baby collection. I don't care if your wife has got to go suck dick in the alley. Go fuck yourself. I guarantee if I look through, here's another thing you could do, Chad. Say, send me your credit card statement. And then all you have to do is go through the credit card statement, highlight all the booze, all the times I went out, say, no, that's bullshit. You can't afford this. Go put it on your credit card. I don't care I don't care if you got to go to the bank or get an emergency loan at the pawn store. You are paying me my fucking money. Right?
Okay.
Because you got them by the balls. And then you don't want those people ever again. That's it. It's like friendship or your dating life. It is 100% determined by the quality and caliber of people that are in it. Like, so when we all go hang out at your favorite place in Chicago, and we got some cool guys, man. We got some great guys. We got Vince. We've mentioned his name before. Some other people we can't.
Sure.
And you know why I come down to Chicago? It's because these are cool guys. But it's the same thing with business. for the most part, most of my clients are honest and straight. They get to the straight dope. And if they don't, like I had this one, did you watch the video? I had to take it down where the guy rambled for like 45 minutes.
Is that the one where you were having a real tough time sticking with it?
No period, no punctuation, just ramble. Yeah, I charged him a lot more. I tried not to get angry, but they're things, Chad. They're not human beings. They're things. And they all vote Democrat, so fuck them on top of that anyway. No, seriously. If you're in Chicago, like, how many of them are Republicans? Or libertarians at least.
Just my cops and firefighters. Some people you've actually met that.
I know who they are. But no, they are to be taken advantage of. Not in an illegal, unethical way, but you are to profit off of them.
So the last question I'll ask, because I know you're probably tired of talking about this. It's at least something that at least gets me worried about this is that you still want to maintain a good reputation online. Like, I don't want people to go on there and be like, oh, he like threatened to break my thumbs if I didn't pay him.
You didn't threaten to break. No. Good. Because you know what? That's going to scare away some of the other ones. Mm-hmm. Have you had a trouble with having too many or not enough clients?
No.
Or have you had trouble with too many clients?
Too many.
All right. Who do you got on your side?
On my side?
Who could drum you up new business like that?
Well, I don't know who I'm talking to right now at this moment, but I'll bet he could mention my name and it would happen.
Who also knows some other podcasters, which are much larger reach than him, that you could toss $300 to, like Better Bachelor, and go get yourself a bunch of clients?
That's a really good point. I won't publicize this, but I mean, you got me a kind of a famous client a few weeks ago, and he's a great dude, and I've really enjoyed working with him.
He's a cool dude. Yes, I know that cool dude. Yes. All right, but dude, come on. Join the winner's circle here a little bit and get rid of your deadbeat clients.
Yeah, no, that is happening. I'd like to at least get paid before I get rid of them.
I'd like you to get your driver's license back and leave Illinois every once in a while.
I still have a driver's license. Nonstop Dre for $2. My favorite quote: "No good deed goes unpunished." That's so true.
It is. But here you sit yet. Oh, there was this guy.
I guess here's what I just wish. See, you're Mr. Asshole, so you can be as much of a dick as you want. I kind of wish I could, because there's just part of me that's worried about my rep getting tarnished online, but I'll find a way to deal with it.
My life only got good when I didn't care what people thought ever again about me. Like when I went online. Hey, here's what you really need. This transition, you need to transition like that Anakin Skywalker did. The kid with the mushroom cut hair. Oh, gee willikers, Padme, you're a swell gal. To like, no, you need to switch like that, because then you're responding to the real world. It's I know your mom is a wonderful woman, your dad's a great guy, and you were brought up right. That does not work now.
True.
Does not work now.
Gotta be a dick.
Gotta be a dick. Gotta be a dick.
Well, cool. Thanks. I didn't mean for you to take up all that time on that.
You just get no super chats this time because of the free advice I just gave you.
That's fair. We're not getting much anyway. No. All Pro Lemonton Z for $2. Chad, do you miss your government job at DOJ Tax? There are days that I do. I'm going to be really upfront about that. There's days that like you're dealing with people who won't pay you, people who never get back to you on time. Some people who are outright hostile when you make it so they can't cheat, on their returns. You can't even protect them from themselves. Yeah, sometimes I miss working for the government, but it's very stale to work for the government. Very stale. Yeah.
As opposed to regular accounting in the private sector, which is also so riveting and exciting.
I'll never do that again. No more contract jobs. But I'll be honest, yes, I do miss working for DOJ sometimes.
Interesting.
So,
you know what I miss?
What do you miss?
Working security with the guys.
Wells Fargo? No.
No. Back in college days, we'd all hop on our bikes and go tear up campus. It was kind of fun. Only during a certain time of year, like when it was warm out. Winter started to suck.
Casper, Wyoming, or wherever you live. So Black Pill Ned Stark for $2 says, yeah, company driver. He was the one who had that earlier question about doing taxes for truck drivers.
Right.
Yeah, because it's coming from here and you're not some random person off of Yelp. Shoot me an email if you want, Ned. You can find me, elkincpa.com. Need help.
All right, time lapsed. I'm going to pull up something here on the interwebs.
Time lapse for $5. My employers at Amazon are saying in their quote inclusivity awareness month end quote that posting an offensive meme on Facebook could get you a talk with HR fired. Man, I hope, yeah, a friend of ours would never work for Amazon.
Yeah, I got a kid. He hasn't paid. I caught up on Asshole Consulting yesterday. Like I got all of them done, and then when I got back later last night, 3 people had paid. I did 3 more. And so I think there's only one, but it feels good. Like, you know, the email's all truncated down, and yeah, I caught up with it. So I was all, it felt good. But I will, as much as I may kind of like complain about Asshole Consulting, I'll never go back. I will never.
Dude, me neither.
I'll go on. I'll live off of you guys. I'll go in the government dole. I'll go work security. I'm never talking to HR or working for a corporate, you know, type of employer. And if they ever say anything like, well, you have to take this seminar. And I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't. And I'm not going to. You will fire me. And then I will file a complaint. I will make your life fucking hell. So
I'm spoiled for life, man. I will not work for somebody else. I just won't.
Mm-hmm.
Time lapsed for $2. I want my job to leave me alone outside of work.
You can leave. Go work, guys. Aaron, why do you charge $599? Well, here's another one, guys. How do you get promoted at work, Chad? Or how do you get perks like, no, I don't have to go to that meeting. No, I don't have to come into office. I get to work from home. How? There are 2 ways you do it. You can do them both at the same time. There are 2 things, one in particular, though, you need to do to have leverage over your current employer.
You grow a pair of huge tits and then
no, I'm talking for my audience. I'm talking for people who have to work for a living.
Okay, so 2 things. This is good. I don't really have any answers. To avoid
I want something from my boss before I even walk into that fucking office and start laying down my demands. What do I need to already have in hand?
Money.
That's why I charge this. Honest to God, I'm so confident now to charge $600 for this. Now down the road, once the market clears out and the new attendees take this class, maybe I will lower it for you guys, but I don't think you're gonna need it, frankly. But this is why, because you're a veteran, Chad, you should know this. Before I walk in and ask my boss for a raise, what do I need to have in hand?
God, before you ask for a raise, I'm drawing a blank, man.
People might have it in the
another
job there,
another
offer.
Oh, I see.
Another offer.
Yeah. Okay.
And the second thing you need before that is preferably a in high demand skill, engineering, programming, whatever. Okay, then you avoid all this. And so it's the same thing. Where'd the original question go? I love his picture. I love his picture because it's
to be left alone outside of work.
Right. Time lapsed. Do you have another job offer? You don't? Why can't solve your problem? Because you're Amazon's bitch now. This is why. Or here's another thing that you could have. This takes a little time to develop. And I had this. I used to teach dance classes, finance classes, work security, and was a banker. All right. What do we call those?
We call that multifaceted revenue streams.
Multiple income streams.
Yeah.
So if my boss got lippy, what could I do?
You could be like, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Les Grossman. You just say, go fuck yourself. That's it. But I can't help you if this is your only game there, time lapse.
Yeah, I can never work for another person. I gotta say it. Just isn't gonna happen. So the next one is Phil Henry for €5. A drinking game. Every time Clary says HR or security, take a sip. Good times. Yeah, good times. Also educational on many levels. Because HR.
We should throw in military. If I ever mention the military, No one would be sober. No one would be sober at the end. But here, this is why I got to repeat myself, because people aren't listening. You know, if all of a sudden there's a $500 bill due to me and you pay me $500, maybe not only do you listen, but you actually implement it in your life. Let me ask you this. Would time lapse, you think he'd be willing to pay $600 right now to have another job offer in a situation?
Oh, without question.
Well, right. I can't.
Yeah, man. This is why I appreciate you going into this, because it kind of, not to rub it in, it reminds me that whatever my problems are, I still have it better than like trying to work for a boss.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I almost went to anger management classes because I was getting so pissed off at other stuff. And then I have to stop and sit and realize, like, dude, at least I can leave the country. Like, here's the big, I don't have kids. All these people, I don't like the way the country's going. I'm like, well, that's right. I guess you do have to worry because you got 3 kids. You can't even afford them.
Yeah. At least we're smart enough not to be stuck in that situation.
And you guys are leftists too.
You're going to starve.
Your 100% white kids are in a predominantly minority neighborhood in a major metro area. And you're leftist.
That's my situation.
You want to talk about enjoy the decline. I don't have to go see a movie. I just have to check in with that family every once in a while. Yeah, it's every once in a while you got to kind of put things in perspective and realize it's pretty good. So here, a veteran donator, Troy Kostelecki.
$2. Older brother podcast to get through the workday. Hey, I always like days like this.
Did I tell you, Troy, they employed child slave labor at his household?
He had his kids working for him.
Troy owns the slave camp, yes, and he has little slaves in the form of children. And the wife, she's the commandant of the camp, and she made the little girl stir some peach jalapeno jam and raspberry jalapeno jam, and they sent it to me. And you know why it tastes really, really, really good, like better than any peach jalapeno or raspberry jalapeno jam I've ever had in my life before?
They all sound disgusting to me, but I would like to know why they taste so
because of child slave labor. That's the key ingredient to make it extra tasty. When you enslave your little kids to make some rando on the internet jam, but it was good. It's good. The raspberry jam was real good, but that hint of child slave labor just makes it a little bit better.
Just the jalapeno part makes it not sound good to me. But Andrew S. for $5. Social Security has a calculator to show what I would get if I were deemed disabled. I'd make 60% of my income. No wonder why people take it. Yeah. Social Security, let's be honest, you're never going to collect it, and neither am I.
I think we are. You know why?
You think?
Who's going to replace the U.S. dollar?
Well, I was thinking more. Even if we get it, it's not going to be worth anything.
It may not buy us anything, but yeah, I think. Yeah. Dude, did you see how much money we just printed off because of a cough? Yeah. Okay, yeah. $2 trillion. All right. Do you know what the monetary base, our money supply was before Obama took over?
What it was?
Yeah, guess how many trillions of dollars it was, the monetary base.
Good Lord. Wild ass guess, 50 trillion, 100.
No, not 50 trillion. Our GDP is 2021. No, the monetary base was 900 change billion, like 950 billion. Do you know what it was when Obama left?
God, it definitely had gone into the trillions.
Just shy of 4 trillion. You know where it is now? Yeah.
Good Lord, 10 trillion.
Just shy of 6. Like,
I thought it went even higher with this.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Not yet. Hey, give them time.
So we are going to get more Trump bucks, people. It's going to happen any day now, just as a heads up.
Yep. I wonder what will happen to the price of tuition and housing and asset prices. I wonder if they'll go up. And if millennials and Gen Zers will complain about the price of rent and that we need more government money.
Damn it. I'm going to find a field in South Dakota and build a house. Dre for $2. I pay you money because it forces me to apply your wisdom.
See, you need to beat people, man. I think it's something to do with dominatrix stuff or dominate. You know, like some guys will pay to have a woman spank them with a spanking device, a whip.
Yeah.
They need that, I guess. I don't know. People need me to yell at them. It helps.
Scott Adams said something interesting the other day. He's like, if you have to charge people so they feel that, you know, it's worth paying for. Like they'll take it more seriously if they pay you.
You absolutely have to charge people. You absolutely. And again, I'm going into a new market with the seminar thing. Okay. So I haven't promoted it that much. Oh, here, let me put it in the, if you're interested here, if you want to stop spending more than you make and you want to be able to retire for a living, if you'd like to finally get that part of your financial act together, here you go. It's in the chat room, $599. Most of you don't need it there. So, but yeah, Chad, would you have paid $600 20 years ago not to go get an MBA and to save that money instead and throw it into an IRA?
Yeah, I needed some courses to get my CPA, but yeah, I would have paid $600.
Right. And would you have taken it seriously if you had to dole out that much blood?
Yeah.
Right. There you go. Well, I could be wrong. Maybe Noah will sign up for it. Don't know. We'll find out next month.
No, I think you're going to have some people that sign up for that.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So, but
who's next? All Pro Lemonton Z, $2. Any healthcare company recommendations? Healthcare, like Blue Cross Blue Shield,
for like insurance.
Healthcare company. I think he wants to know what the good. It's just where I live. It's Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, and there's one more, Cigna or something. I don't know many others.
We got Health Partners. I think we got Cigna. I know we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. But I mean, for like to go work for or to like
get that's
insurance from?
That's why I'm confused by the question. Like,
who has the hottest chicks working in their offices? I mean, you gotta tell us what the what do you mean by that? Good news. You want some good news?
I always want good news.
I gotta leave here in about 4 minutes. Israeli youths unearth 1,100-year-old gold coins from Abbasid era. Youths volunteering in an archaeological dig in central Israel find 425 gold coins that had lain buried in a clay jar for 1,100 years. Most of the money dates back to the early Islamic period when the region was part of the Abbasid Caliphate. Coins weighing 30 ounces, which is what? What's the price of gold per ounce now? 5,000?
Someone in the chat will tell us.
Is that like 150 grand maybe? It would have been worth a huge sum of money when they were buried, enough to buy a luxurious home in one of the Caliphate cities. Who owned the cash and why they never returned to it collected is a mystery. The person who buried the treasure 1,100 years ago must have expected to retrieve it and even secured the vessel with a nail so that it would not move. The directors of the excavation, Eli Haddad of the Israel Antiquities Authority said, so booby-doo, ba-ba-ba, 270 small gold cuttings, pieces of diners. Dude, I'd just be happy to find a pot from that era. You know what the kids got to do with the coins? You're muted.
I was muted because I was asking Alexa what the price of gold is. But what are they going to do? What are the kids going to do?
They have to give it to the Israeli Antiquities Authority.
Really?
Yeah. It's because it's known. Like, here, let me just tell you, if you find some lost treasure, I don't care where you are or what the Antiquities Authority, you shut the fuck up and you take the treasure. And you don't tell no one. You don't tell your buddy. You don't tell anyone. I think it's the same way in Britain. Like, if you find old Gaelic or Norman burial crap, a sword, you got to tell people. I wouldn't tell a single motherfucking person. You'd be like, nope, don't know where that came from. All right, let's take these super chats and call it a day because I think
there's just one more here. Oh no, two more. The Competent Man for $5. Dan Pena reports that when he gave away his seminars for free, no one would follow the advice or do anything. His area is buying a business. There you go. I believe that. Yeah, I believe that.
I mean, I won't lie. Also, dude, if I make, let's say I get 1,000, we're talking, is that 600,000? That'd be a lot of money. I was okay. 1,000 would be too. Oh, if I got 100, that's 60 grand. Right, with the marketing and and people. I think I have also found some new material, dude. 60 grand. I could now buy my little plot of land in Croatia. I could have my escape plan. People think I blow this money on Ferraris and whores and booze. It's like, no, you've seen my taxes. It goes into SEP IRAs and septic tanks.
I've got about 5 full years of living expenses saved, but that's because I don't spend a lot.
Right.
Time lapsed for $5. I am moving next year to a red state to pursue my studies and be a security guard. The torture won't be permanent, Cappy.
Good. I'm glad to hear. So, all right, listen, why don't you plug your services, but describe very quickly what you're only going to accept in terms of clients. And then, because you're going to get rid of some clients this upcoming year, maybe next year, for the guys who got their shit together here and the gals, maybe they can hire you next year. So why don't you tell people where they can find you?
Okay. Well, you can find me at elkinscpa.com. But let me just say, if you, for instance, are a truck driver and you listen to this show, and so you have some idea about what I'm looking for, I want you to kind of have your shit together, contact me. Let me know if there's something I can do. Lately, dude, I've had people contacting me asking for some free advice, and I always, because I'm going to keep doing this, I always send them back to you.
Good, thank you.
Send them to you and say you got to pay him.
Well, you can consult them if they're contacting you. Just charge them. That's all I ask.
If they're through you, I can't do it. I got to at least clear it with you, because I don't think that's fair.
But they're obviously asking you for a reason, because you have an expertise that you have the knowledge they seek. Yeah. It's not like you got to pay me commission. So if they reach out to you for an accounting question, fine. Because what ends up happening with the accounting questions, they come back, what do I got to do?
Yeah, do video on them.
I got to bring you back on anyway, because so, I mean, if they go to you, don't they, oh my God, it came through Aaron Clary. Like if a girl said, Chad, I met you by watching Aaron Clary's video, you're going to say, no, you got to go suck Aaron Clary's dick. You can't suck mine. Would you do that?
To be fair, that kind of happened last summer, but all
yeah, okay, well, I'm a great guy. It's great to know me. It's great to know me. All right, where can people find you, Chad?
elkinscpa.com. If you're a fan of the show, just email me. If it's a good fit, of course I'll bring you on. If not, I'll tell you and maybe lead you in another direction.
Okay. Right? And then for all the younger brothers and sisters out there, here's the books to go by. How Not to Become a Millennial, Learning from America's Largest Sociological Disaster. Worthless, the young person's indispensable guide to not majoring in stupid shit when you can't go to college on or in person. And August is Reconnaissance Man Month, where you need to go and travel around the United States to figure out where you live. Because, Chad, are realtors' fees expensive?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are financing and refinancing fees expensive?
Yep. Can't even write them off.
If you buy one house and you live in it for the rest of your life because you spent the time to figure out where to belong in the United States and you don't have refinancing costs, what do you think? That's got to be, like with realtors, that's got to be at least 60 grand, don't you think?
Yeah. Multiple $1,000s on that
Multiple thousand. Yep. You refinance 2 or 3 times. That's $5-6 grand a pop. You buy 2 or 3 houses. That's 20-30 grand, maybe even up. Oh yeah. Easy.
Just real quick. Juan saying, Chad, do video requests like Aaron. If you guys send me emails and you want something like that, fine.
I still think you should have done the Elkins Hour. I love the Elkins Hour. You could do your own channel called the Elkins Hour. It'd be
How about this? Before we go, and you can tell me offline if you want. What if I decided to do an inaugural Elkins Hour? I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I'm having a meeting, you can come on in because
sounds great.
All right,
we'll do it. All right, take us out appropriately.
Toodles.